Greetings, royal family, and welcome to another message by the Honorable Yahweh Beit Nun Sophie Yahweh. Now, royal family, this message was taught many years ago by the Honorable Yahweh and is being presented to you today by Yahweh's royal priesthood. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Visit us at Yahweh's royal priesthood, www.yahweh144000.com. And also, royal family, join us at the University of Yahweh, where classes are designed for the Godhead. Visit us at www.universityofyahweh.org. Also, royal family, listen to our weekly podcasts by the University of Yahweh, found on most podcast platforms. We look forward to you being there as well. Enjoy, royal family.
And only when you come into the knowledge of your true self can you love yourself. And you can never, ever love your neighbor without first loving yourself. You can't possibly love me until you first love yourself. A man without self-love hates everybody in the world while he pretends to love his enemy. When he says he loves everybody, he's a liar. He only loves those who give him his paycheck. And he doesn't love them. He tears down everything anybody builds. Even when white people come and build up beautiful homes within the ghetto, it becomes another part of the ghetto. It looks just like the rest of the ghetto, quickly. For those of us who are resurrected into the nation of Yahweh, we are learning of the great acts of Yahweh and our deliverance from slavery. Simultaneously, we learn that we are heirs of all the promises of the Bible. That means we learn knowledge of our inheritance of the land of promise. We, the so-called blacks of America, are heirs to the land of promise. Most of us live in the city and don't own anything, and don't think about owning anything. As we come into the knowledge of our history, culture, and language, name, and land, we find out that the Feast of Harvest celebrates Yahweh as the giver of grain. When we study grain, you can drop the G and learn that he's the giver of rain. And we know from study that there is no life without water. And there are no successful crops without rain for the harvest. And all we have to do to have rain in due season on our crops is obey the will of Yahweh, obey the laws of Yahweh. And he keeps his promise to us by giving us rain in due season. He gives us rain for our crops when we need it. When we don't need it, it's withheld. We learn this is the character of Yahweh. There's no such thing as Mother Nature. You can't look at nature and say, "Hi, Mom." Yahweh is man. Yahweh is divine mind. And it is He that controls nature. It is Yahweh that is the giver of the rain. He's the giver of the grain. Our history is sacred because our Father is to be regarded in a sacred manner. We're taught to have a ceremony for the offering of the first fruits. And ceremony is an institution. It means that the first fruits, as a high holy day for us as Israel, is to be an institution. We are to institutionalize our high holy days. Now, the Feast of Harvest, the Feast of Weeks, requires you to present your first fruit to Yahweh. But you must do this of your own free will. It is not my job to force you. It is my job to simply teach you. Consequently, I'm going to need that scripture which says, "Whosoever will, let him come." What is it? Revelation chapter 22, verse 17. Revelations chapter 22, verse 17. That's certainly one. There's another one too, but this one is fine. Read.
And the Spirit and the bride say, "Come." And let him that heareth say, "Come." And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely.
What I'm offering you tonight is free. You may freely come, you may freely drink from the water of life. That's what I offer you. The water of life. And all of you who are thirsty for the water of life, you may come of your own free will and drink to your content. And no matter how much you drink, it will not diminish my supply. Again, you are required, the Feast of Weeks requires you to present your first fruits to Yahweh. That means that the first fruit you pick off the tree, 10% of that tree goes to Yahweh when? First. I don't care how hungry you are or how hungry your children are, or how hungry anybody in the world is. The first 10% goes to Yahweh. Is that logical?
Yes, sir.
Well, what is so logical about it? It's the fact that the tree was created by Yahweh. And it was created to give its fruit by Yahweh. And the seed that is within the fruit carries the germ of life to produce another tree and fruit like the one you are offered to eat. And it is Yahweh who created the earth that the tree takes root in. It is Yahweh who created the system that sustains the tree. It is Yahweh who gives the tree the water that it needs to live. And the carbon dioxide, is it? To breathe in. It is Yahweh that did all of this. And after doing this and making the fruit of the tree good for you to eat, that which he tells you is good for you, then isn't it logical for him to require you to give to him first of that is already his? That he is so bountifully willing to share with you 90% of it? But your only requirement is to give him 10% of it first? Now look at the nature of Yahweh. The nature of Yahweh taught here through the first fruits, the first Feast of Weeks, is Yahweh gives you 90% of what's his. He doesn't have to give you anything. It's all his. And he says, my requirement from you who appreciate me is 10% first of what's mine. I'll do all I need to do with the 10%. Now surely you can do more with 90% than I can do with 10. Yet I'm giving you 90% of my creation. Just give me my 10% off the top. And Yahweh follows that rule through all of your life, in every aspect of your life. He just says, of all that you have and all that you get your hands on, give me 10% of it. When? First. And if you do, I'll open the windows of heaven for you and pour you out blessings that you will not have room enough to receive. Now, if you have been given your tithes to the church and you still have plenty of room for blessings, then you need to switch from giving to your church and give to the man that keeps his promise. I'm here to witness to you that Yahweh keeps his promise of opening the windows of heaven and pouring us out blessings that we don't have enough people together. I'm doing more with the few pennies that the few of you give to me than all 400,000 preachers in America have ever done for you. And they've been collecting from your great-grandma to your grandma to your mama and all your relatives, and all of them together have not done what I've done for you in this city. As you continue to give to them, and the churches were full this morning giving to the church preacher who had done absolutely nothing. But when you, the little sheep, get tired of having nothing, come and see me sometime. And I'll show you how to move from poverty to riches. I guarantee it. That's what the Feast of Weeks is all about. Teaching you the responsibility of the first fruits. Since you're the first fruits, you're the first ones to be born into the knowledge of Yahweh, then you have to learn your responsibility to Yahweh, and you learn it through the Feast of Weeks. What do you learn? I repeat. You learn to present your first fruits, your first income. You do that to Yahweh. And then I teach you the order that things should work. Put Yahweh, it's order, put him first. But the beauty of what I have shared with you and leaked out just now is that nothing you do is going to work unless you put Yahweh first. And you can't go back and say, I'm giving it to God. No, God is not my name. And your illogical mind has been lying to you all your life. Every time you said you have given your offering to God, you're a liar. Because if you've been giving your money to God, I logically have to ask you, where is he? Where is his bank? Where was he located? Surely you can tell me what he looks like. If you gave it to him, he must have been material being, because you took a material substance out of your pocket and left it somewhere. Somebody else took it. Somebody else counted it. No, you didn't give it to God. You gave it to the preacher. Now that's who you gave it to. And that's who your mama gave it to. And that's who your grandmama gave it to. And that's who your great-grandmama gave it to. And your room is empty of blessings. It's a blessing to follow the laws of Yahweh. It's a law that we put him first. It's his law as our creator that we give to him our first fruits. Is that logical? Not only is he our life giver, but when we follow his laws, they bring us perfect health. And we who try what he teaches are witnesses that when we keep our minds stayed on him, what do we enjoy? Absolutely. If you don't have peace, your mind slipped off Yahweh. Yeah. And there's always somebody who would like to get your mind off Yahweh. Why? Because they are already unhappy. Why are they unhappy? Mine is not on Yahweh. They don't know Yahweh. Yahweh is not first in their life. I've just told you God is a title. See, this is not an emotional teaching. This is a logical teaching. This is reality. Go look up the word God, and you will discover it's a title. God is not a name of anything or anybody. It's only a title. I'm telling you about a man whose name is Yahweh, that carries all power just in his name. All that I teach you is from this name, the knowledge of this name. In fact, King Solomon was ascribed to be the wisest king to have ever lived, and his fame and glory was due to the name Yahweh. I say it's a blessing to learn what Yahweh requires of us, and that he indeed requires us to present to him our first fruits, but that we must do this of our own free will. Yahweh doesn't want you to feel coerced into worshiping him. Yahweh doesn't want to feel that you are forced into serving him. In fact, if you don't give to Yahweh cheerfully, it's a curse. Yahweh blesses the cheerful giver. And the only way that you can give to Yahweh cheerfully is to understand who Yahweh is in relationship to you and who you are in relationship to Yahweh.